What's up guys, Coach Az here. I'm fighting off a bit of man flu, so if I sound a little bunged up in this video, I do apologize, but I gotta keep this content coming for you guys. So today, I've got 5 combinations with 5 different head kicks. We all love a good head kick. It's a great way to finish a fight. It's a great way to affect your opponent's mindset. It's quite demoralizing to take a big kick to the dome. So today, not only do I want to give you 5 ways to set up and land a head kick, but I thought rather than it just being the roundhouse kick round to the head, why not do 5 different kicks landing to the head as well? Now I'm going to start this list with some pretty basic combinations. I am a big believer that basics win fights. You should train the fundamentals. There's a reason that they're called the fundamentals, because they just work. And then we're going to get into some more unconventional combinations towards the end of the list. Now before I get into that list, just a quick reminder to please hit that like button if you enjoy the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done already. New videos come out every week. Let's get into this list. Alright, combination number 1, we're going to go with the teep to the face, followed by the jab cross. So in this combination, we're not necessarily setting up to the head kick, we're just throwing it straight up, circa kind of Anderson Silva kind of vibes. The teep is probably the first kick you'll learn, whether it be in kickboxing, Muay Thai, karate, K1, any form of striking. It's the most basic fundamental way of kicking. It doesn't require as much flexibility as say a roundhouse kick or a hook kick, so it's great for beginners to get started with. Now generally speaking, when we teach people the teep, when we have people teeping, it's to the body. You're using it as a probing technique to draw down the guard, to manage distance, or to just simply attack that midsection. But as fighters like Anderson Silva have shown us, you can take that teep upstairs and really surprise your opponent, and of course do massive amounts of damage. One of the beautiful things about a teep to the face is that people don't expect it. As well as that, if you hit that teep, and even if they cover it with their guard, it can cause quite a blind sight. It means that your opponent can't really see what's going to be following up, what's going to be coming next. So whilst great on its own, it's an amazing shot to throw and then follow up with the hands. Here I'm doing it with a basic 1-2. So everything in this combination is just coming straight down the middle, straight down the pipe. Perhaps we're splitting the guard open, pulling those hands apart and sending all 3 techniques right down that center line. Combination number 2, we're going to go for the cross hook to back leg roundhouse kick. A really important fundamental combination in understanding how to develop power in all of your shots. The cross sets up the hook. The hook sets up the kick. The idea here is that we're rotating through each shot onto a different side of our body, and thus priming and loading up the next shot in the combination. Throwing a roundhouse kick to any height off of a lead arm hook is a real classic concept. The idea being that we're weight bearing on that hook, on that lead leg, and that allows us to freely and easily lift our back leg up, rotate our hip round, and shoot that roundhouse kick, whether that be to the leg, to the body, or in our case, up to the head. Now on this channel, I often have to talk about the perils of practicing this on a freestanding bag because the bag has no motion. If I'm working this combination, I might be priming my opponent to move backwards. I throw that cross hook, anticipating that my opponent is going to take a back step, in which case I can shoot that long range kick up to the head. Now the freestanding bag isn't going to move for nobody, but I have the privilege of being able to strike with my shin bone if they stay at a closer range. And this can also be the reality in a fight or in a sparring match. Your opponent isn't always going to do exactly what you predict. Sometimes they will move backwards, sometimes they might cut an angle, but sometimes they might bite down on their gum shield and hold their ground. So we need to be able to work these combinations at all different ranges, knowing that maybe not all 3 shots will hit, maybe only 1 will actually find the mark. Combination number 3, we're going to stick to that roundhouse kick, but let's switch it up to the lead side and let's use a switch kick in order to develop more power. Now, the switch kick is one of these techniques that I really enjoy to throw because you can throw it with so much power, but I understand and appreciate the fact that you must set this kick up, guys. It's a very difficult kick to just throw as it is because it's just got such a tell. You see that switching motion, and anyone with half a brain is going to bring their hands up to guard or is going to move their feet to get out of the way. So setting this combination up behind some punches is a great way to increase the chances that you land this kick. This is probably my favorite setup for landing a switch kick. We're gonna throw a jab cross, and then we're gonna throw another jab, but we're gonna use that jab to disguise the switch. If you're looking at the upper body, we're throwing a jab cross jab, but really what we're doing is we're throwing a jab cross, and then we're switching stances, so what was our jab becomes a cross. And that punch is there purely as a disguise to hide the fact that I've switched the stance and I'm starting to raise my leg up to the kick. I always recommend practicing this setup in sections. Throw your 1-2 and then practice that switch jab as a separate motion and then propel that straight up into the head kick from there. We're using all straight punches, so we're nice and long range, which means we've got plenty of space to wrap our shin or our instep round up to the dome of our opponent. Okay, combination number 4. We're getting into the slightly more unorthodox territory now in terms of technique. We're gonna start throwing a side kick. Now I say unorthodox because in places like Muay Thai and MMA, K1, it's not as popular. It is starting to increase, especially in MMA. We're seeing more and more people throwing the side kick. So I want to do my part to help promote what I believe to be a super effective way to strike. Similar to our Teep combo, we're going to initiate with that kick. The difference being now that we're then going to follow up with our back arm cross and then our lead arm hook. I like to think of my side kick as a replacement for my jab. It's my lead leg, so similar to be like using my lead arm, except it's far more powerful. So instead of landing off of that side kick and throwing a jab, I replace it with the jab and think, what would I follow my jab up with? If I just slide it in with my jab, I'd probably follow up with my 2 and my 3, my cross hook. But now I'm gonna slide in with my kick and follow straight in with my back arm cross and lead arm hook. Again, a really power focused combination. Now I'm throwing this side kick off of a sliding motion. That means I'm lifting my chamber and pushing off my standing leg to cover an amount of distance in order to hit the target. This of course could be just done stationary, just lift that leg straight up and fire, or off of a stepping motion, like a skipping up motion to get the kick up into the air. This of course is going to require a certain level of flexibility in order to do this kick, so make sure that you're following one of our stretching routines on this channel. Search Warrior Martial Arts Stretch and follow along with one of those routines to increase your middle split and be able to get your leg up to head height. Alright, combination number 5, and I thought let's go out to left field on this one. Understand guys, I like to practice all different kinds of martial arts and I like to present a lot of different ideas to you guys. I'm not saying that this is the most effective combination in the world or you have to go and use this in your next fight. It's all just things for you to take away. Practice it, keep what's useful to you, discard what isn't. So combination number 5, we're going to throw a jab reverse punch. Reverse punch, for any of you that haven't done a traditional martial art before, is basically a cross, but we're shooting it to the body. So we're going up high with the lead hand, down into the body with the backhand. I'm then going to work a stance switch. So I'm going to switch my stance as it is and jab off of my new stance as if I was going to repeat the same combination off the other side. But instead of the reverse, we're going to go for a spinning wheel kick, spinning hook kick. So when you work and practice combinations like this, think of the stance switch as a technique all of itself. So the full combination is jab, reverse, stance switch, jab, spinning hook. The first half of this combination, we're playing with levels. We're attacking the head, we're attacking the body, and then we're using the stance switch to confuse our opponent. We switch the stance and we feed another jab. This last jab is actually just being used as a measuring device. I'm using it to put a hand out and measure the distance to ensure that when I throw my spinning hook kick, which has a moment of blindness for myself, that I know it's going to find the target. So that 1-2 with the body, 2 to the body, then I work the stance switch, I probe out with my jab, use it to set and measure whilst I prime myself to rotate, bring that back leg round and hit with that spinning hook kick round to the head. So there we have it guys, 5 head kick combinations with 5 different head kicks. Take them away, practice them, make up your own, be as creative as you like guys. It's called martial arts. It's an art form. We have to use our creativity as well as, like I said, working on the fundamentals and the basics because that's what's going to win you the fight. If you like the video, please hit like, subscribe to the channel, new videos coming every week. I'm going to go take some medicine and I will see you on the next one.